Oh, Radio Dad here. Got a new mule in the barn, or at least new to me. This is a Hallicrafters model S-38A. I managed to score this locally off the Facebook Marketplace, which I don't think too much of, but occasionally I'll see something. And in this case, $25, so I couldn't pass it up. And we're going to see if we can bring this thing back to life, and let's just see what we got on this first installment here. So the tuning knobs, I couldn't wait. I actually started soaking those in some dishwashing detergent and kind of scouring them with a toothbrush a little bit. One of them is missing the ring. I managed to remove the other ring. It goes inside of here with just a small screwdriver. I'll polish that up and make that nice. Probably put it on the main tuning knob just to give it a little extra bling. So let's turn it around and look behind it for a second. This thing's kind of, the paint, as you can see, is not extra good, but I'm going to try some automotive buffing compound just to try to liven it up a little bit, maybe mute the rust down a little bit, and I might clear coat over what's left of it and just keep that nice vintage colored paint. And I don't want to repaint it. I've seen people repaint them and all that stuff, and that's great. I just I like I'm a collector in many ways and have lots of other collections, and I don't want to destroy the original patina and the original paint. So that's just me. Looking inside of this thing, as you can kind of see, all the tubes are present and accounted for. It has the right complement of tubes in it. I don't see anything obviously wrong from this angle. Well, I'll take it back. If you kind of look in here a little bit, you see the indicator dial bulb kind of flopping around in there. It belongs back up in there, and I'm not sure why it's flopping around, but you know, it should ordinarily have been installed way up in there above the dial. So it's not there, but it's present and accounted for. Dial string is there. The dials do move very freely, and I don't know if you can see or not, but I'm really hoping that the speaker, kind of get an angle here, it's practically rust free, and the cone, I don't see the cone being roached or moth eaten or busted out. So I've got my fingers crossed on my speaker. I'd love to have a great speaker in here and not have to do a bunch of repairs like I've had to do on other radios. So here's all sides. You can see there's rust, surface rust on the cabinet, and this thing's pretty old though. I think we all get a little bit of miles on us. This side's not as bad. So let's just kind of tilt it up. I've taken the bottoms and the back off. I do have them. They're not in great shape, but they are alive. This is a live chassis, so it has some other rubber grommets that kind of isolate the set chassis from the outer case. And obviously these grommets are really compressed, you know, and just, they don't look good. You know, we'll deal with all that later, but let's just kind of take a look here. Good news is most of the caps look like they're originals. You know, that's good news, meaning that not too many people have been in here doing things to it. So I'm happy about that, because you know, it means most of the wiring and everything is pretty original, and the components, and hopefully I can put the, you know, the right stuff back in it. I will of course use the schematics and parts list, but I will validate with the actual components that belong here. The electrolytics, you know, look like it's the line capacitor here looks like it's been changed at some point, and a few others don't look actual originals. I'm not sure about this one, but these two look like they've been changed. The electrolytics have been changed, and then everything else looks largely original. So that's kind of good in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I do see, if you can quite make it out. This resistor here looks like it's gotten pretty hot at one time. The paint's kind of boiling off for a minute, and we'll see what else I can find. But you know, as we go through it, we'll certainly you know, replace anything and test everything. There's one thing that I did note, if you can kind of see up in there, the band switch, and I've had this problem on other radios too. The band switch here is practically black. The metal is, and you know, when that happens, there's frequently intermittent contacts and things when you're switching bands, and you know, things aren't working, they are working, they start working, they won't work now, all those kind of problems. So we'll definitely be cleaning that band switch up nice and shiny again, so that we for sure have good contacts. And you know, that's something that we can't overestimate. You know, overestimate how important that is, because that's a real business part of this radio, is your band switch. So it's a few cobwebs up in there, I see. Things been living in it a little bit, but overall I'm very, very happy with this radio, and I'm pretty excited because I've never had one of these. I don't even have a Hallicrafters, so I'm just kind of excited to actually have this radio and get to maybe bring her back to life. So all my switches here seem to have a nice click to them, and then the dials moved freely and easily, and there's no cracking or anything on them. It's not banged up too bad. I think most of this plastic will actually clean off nicely. And the decals here, I have the backs and the bottoms, as I mentioned, not in perfect shape. Here's the back. It's missing a few teeth in the old grill, but it is still here. Worst case scenario is I could use it as a pattern, but I think this one's probably actually still usable. And the bottom is here as well. You can see the bottom is kind of it's got a little warpage to it. Kind of get that at the right angle. The bottom is a little bit warped. It's not perfectly straight. The sticker's missing. You know, but I can probably print one of those out and reattach. Somebody's kind of put their own rubber feet on this thing, chunks of something, and you know, but we'll see what we can do with that. It's all here. It's not in horrible shape. It's just a little bit warped, you know, from the way it originally was, no doubt due to moisture and heat and stuff. So, but this will be the first video of what we got. I'll need to dig out the schematics and go through the parts list, and we'll get the capacitors and any resistors and so on that we need. But I don't think we'll need much more. I'm hoping the tubes are okay. We'll test those on our tube tester and see what else we need, and hopefully this will be a fun project. So again, this is the Radio Dad. Thank you for watching.